Okay, my name is Starla Blue and I'm a messenger of the gospel. In June 2014, I committed suicide and I overdosed on 372 pills. At the time of my life, I was heavily addicted to drugs, and I was using meth and the needle. And I was also hanging out with some friends that were some Satan worshipers, and they ended up using me in a satanic ritual, and I was tormented for a number of months before I decided to give my life to God. And what I remember doing was slitting my wrists, and on the last handful of pills I told God, I said, this is what it is. I'm sorry that I can't take this anymore, but the pain in this life is too much for me, and I know that you have somewhere better for me. So I remember the last breath that I took on the surgery table before I woke up in heaven. And I remember Jesus was standing in front of me and he said, you told me that you were thirsty once, so I'm going to send you back with some water. And I woke up 2 days later in the ICU and I was crying, saying the Lord's Prayer. And my mom was saying it with me. And when we were done praying, I just kept saying to my mom, I was with Jesus. I was in heaven with Jesus. And I just remember that the doctors were coming in the room telling me that I was a miracle and they're thankful that I'm back, and they were just saying like, welcome back and things like that. And I don't know, the number of pills that I swallowed, I was supposed to be a vegetable. And here I am 2 years later, a messenger of the gospel, speaking life where I find death, and just really delivering people from depression, anxiety, and suicide, and just helping people live. I just lead a light. I just like to be the light in dark situations. And I can't imagine my life without Jesus. This is reality for me. Death is reality, but life is everlasting. And Jesus had proved to the demons that possessed me before that life is greater, will always be greater than death. And I don't have to believe their lies. I don't have to believe Satan's lie. And that's what true love is. It took the last breath for me. I needed death to come to Christ. And that's my testimony. I'm 23 years old and I grew up in Siston, South Dakota on the reservation, where there's just lots of brokenness, lots of oppression, and I plan to go back. I've spoke there once, and now God is proving miracles in my family's lives. My mom is praying to a God that she didn't know was real. And my little brother, he also stayed sober and pulled his life together for his kids. And it just takes that time, that therapy, that constant praying to God and putting your faith in Him to help Him, and have the patience that they will one day believe. And they're starting to, after months and almost a year of hard work praying to God. He's manifesting His miracles in my family's lives as well. And they're starting to understand where my story comes from when I say I met Jesus in heaven. So there's nothing more that I could ask for. But my breath today is not my own. It's the breath of the Lord. And I'm in tune. I'm a missionary with Godtown, and I'm always 24/7 working for the Lord, and I love it. That's what I love the most. And I love that He answers prayers. The power of prayer is very, very serious. I love praying for people, because the Lord will, He's slayed people underneath my little hands. His power just manifests, and people fall down, pray in tongues, get baptized in the Spirit, or people's knees have been healed, ankles, their ankles are swollen, and the swelling went down underneath my feet. His miracles are unexplainable. And it's just like, I can live to say that I am a testimony of that living miracle, that life is greater than death.